was a breakdown of the fights in the first round. They'll all be 10 rounds. So let's switch over to the first match of the evening. Boxing Fanatico versus Camron. And these two guys, they're good to go to fight. So Boxing Fanatico, Camron, you're good to fire up your fight. Now, it looks like this fight here is going to be Roberto Duran. He looks Roberto Duran versus Pernell Whitaker. And I know with Duran, he has a very powerful straight to the head. We talking about a 20 straight to the head. And then his right hook to the head is also a 20, Pressy. The only thing on Duran that I see that's kind of weak in a lot of people is the body jab. And that's a 10, and it's decent. So with Pernell Whitaker, but he's no slouch either. But you're going to have your hands full with Roberto Duran.
That is true, Boxer. However, Pernell Whitaker does have that hand speed, and he's got those hooks and the footwork to get on in the inside, land those, maybe try land a few body shots and get back out. So if he can adjust his range, if he can find his timing, then he can actually cause him some problems here with Sweet Pea Pernell Whitaker. First fight on the roads, looking to go. These guys are playing for the $200 big cash prize. Well, this is only our first event, so it's only can get bigger and bigger prizes and better prizes down the line. Here we go, Robert Duran and Sweet Pea Whitaker.
Yeah, all right. So, with Boxing Fanatico coming out with Roberto Duran, Camron here, and they coming out with uppercuts and stuff like that. And this is a 10-round fight, Pressy, so you really have to, kind of take your time. You don't want to miss a lot of shots right here. I know both of these guys are very... they know this fight night game here, especially Boxing Fanatico. I've seen him play a lot of the ESBC devs. He knows what he's doing. So this is going to be a very technical match right here. And like you said, Camron has been in the chat talking a lot, and it looks like he's going down to the body right now, and he's making Fanatico miss early and often right now.
Absolutely. I mean, Cameron's probably knows Fanatico's style as well. A lot of people watch the man play the game. So if anything, this could be, Camron could actually have the upper edge here because he's actually watched Fanatico play the game a few times, maybe got a sense of his style. So this is for Boxing Fanatico to really show that IQ, because like you said, he doesn't only play fight, he plays any boxing game he can find and get his hands on, he will play it. He will try and, understand the movement of the game, the mechanics and so forth. But with Fight Night Champion, he's a veteran in the game and he's putting in some work here. Just getting Camron to whiff a few punches there, but using the ring very, very well here.
Yeah, and I like the adjustments that I'm seeing Boxing Fanatico make right here. Now, both of these guys are whiffing a lot of shots, and in this game, you don't want to whiff a lot of shots because whenever that happens, that's going to wear on your endurance and your conditioning. So you want to be careful and select the shots. I don't know if I've even seen a counter punch yet. These guys are really filling each other out. We got 10 rounds, still a long way to go, Pressy, but right now it just seems like I don't know who is taking the advantage here in that first round. Who do you think won that first round?
Just ever so slightly. Not much has happened. Very, very cagey opening here, but I'm ever so slightly gonna edge it to Fanatico, just because I feel he's made Camron whiff those more, Cameron's missed more punches than Fanatico, but again, a very, very cagey and opening boxer. No one's really put their foot down on the gas and tried to mix up the combinations. It's been tit for tat. It's been one or two punches here, but I'm going to edge it to Boxing Fanatico.
Yeah, exactly. And so if you're using Duran, I want to look at, you see him right now, he's popping out that straight. And that's one of Duran's most powerful punches, because that's a 20. You want to try to land that straight, but you got to be careful when you land it. You need to put that dressing on it. You need to put that jab out there and follow it up with something. So let's see if Boxing Fanatico can use that power punch of Duran. And they're still right now, man, they're still filling each other out. This is a very technical match because I'm telling you, both of these fighters, they don't play. They can get in there and they can knock their opponent out.
Left
like
straight
really,
right there from Fanatico. Sorry about that, Boxer. Good two punches there, lands by Fanatico. And it looks like just before that, he wasn't actually finding the target. And I was going to say, Camron's using that footwork in and out, just slight movements, not too much to find him his back against the ropes. He's just moving in and out of range there, making Fanatico miss, trying to land that straight left to the body of his own. Fanatico, again, it looks like he's not up against any slouch here. Very tight stuff. So far, this looks like a fight that could go to the judges' scorecards, but again, Fanatico lands that straight there, which he is. He's trying to mix it up. I think he's trying to hide that uppercut in there with it as well, but Camron is not giving him the target. You know what they say, if you can't find that head, chop the tree down and the head will fall.
Exactly. Now I saw Boxing Fanatico landing nice 1-2, but like you said, that in and out movement, those slips by Camron is doing very good. Surprisingly, he's doing very good against Boxing Fanatico. We've never seen where Camron came from. He just came out of nowhere, but he's here now and he's making a name for himself. But it seems like, all right, Boxing Fanatico staying on the outside and landing a lot of those nice shots right here. But Pernell Whitaker and Camron is doing a good job by staying in there. Right now, it's anybody's fight. And let's see if that toughness of 95 down the stretch when you go into the deep waters using Roberto Duran, will that come into play? Now, one thing with Roberto Duran, he has an 83 in the cut department. So you got to watch out. If you get some damage on that face of Roberto Duran, it could spell some trouble.
Good stuff here. Who did you give the last round to, Boxer?
I might have it 1-1. I think I would give 1 to Boxing Fanatico. I'll give 1 to Camron. It's anybody's match right now.
Camron just trying to work the body there with the hooks, but Fanatico just trying to box off the back foot here, coming in range for that right hand, misses. A good head movement there by Camron, trying to mix up the body shots. Just Fanatico trying to keep him at bay, keep that guard nice and tight. And I mean, the IQ and the ring generalship, you know, we're into round 3 here, and I don't know if you noticed on that stamina regen from Boxing Fanatico, just taking his time there, maybe thinking his opponent will see the scorecards, which are obviously not official. So in this game, they will show you the scorecards in between rounds. Maybe get his opponent to see the scorecards, find himself down a few rounds, get him to panic. Then it's down to Camron to push the pace, try to get the fight back, and then you might end up walking onto that straight right or right uppercut that Boxing Fanatico has been looking for from the first bell.
Yeah, now, and like you said, in this game, we will see the unofficial scorecards here coming up in round 3. But one thing, these side steps, these back steps by Camron, it seems like it's on point. But he has to be careful by not whiffing too many shots, because Boxing Fanatico is doing a good job also at managing that distance, managing his stamina, popping in, popping out. He's looking to land that uppercut there of Roberto Duran, and that is no slouch right there, because that right uppercut to the head by Roberto Duran is a 17 out of 20. So that is nothing that you want to have land on you in that shot, in this fight. But as you go into the middle of the fight, getting into the later rounds, we're going to see where that athleticism comes into play in all of those stats. The endurance, the conditioning, the toughness, and of course, with that speed, we never talked about it. But look at this right here. We got Duran up 3 rounds about.
Really, exactly what I was talking about. He wanted him to see those scorecard, pick him, and I had it 2 rounds to 1, but that one was very close. It could have gone anyone's way. I gave Camron the benefit of the doubt. You know, the unofficial judges in the game didn't see it that way. They gave all 3 rounds to Fanatico. Now it's time for Camron to do some chasing. It's time for him to start putting some work in. If he can, you know, if I'm Camron, I'm gonna try and back up Fanatico on the ropes, because Fanatico isn't trying to hold the center of the ring. He's trying to pot him. He's trying to tit for tat. So if I'm Camron, I'm gonna try either stand toe to toe with Fanatico, make him miss, rip him with body shot counters, make him pay, or try back him up against the ropes. But with that being said, Boxer, Camron actually tried to back up Boxing Fanatico in the last 20 seconds of the last round, but Fanatico kept twirling him around. So every time Camron would find Fanatico already off the ropes before he could even sidestep or get in his range to keep him there. So again, high level stuff for IQ. It must be very frustrating to be up against this, especially if you're the one that is down on the scorecard and you're getting pot shotted like this, like Fanatico is doing to Camron.
Now, one thing, even though that you're down on this scorecard, it's not like a UFC fight. You have some time right now, but you're down 3 rounds, but you got to get to work really soon. But this shows you all of the experience Boxing Fanatico has in this game. He is the one that is being a lot more precise with his shots. He's taking those shots only when they're available, and Camron is missing, and the judges are making him pay for that. Okay, with Pernell Whitaker, you really can't play around with his power also, because he has a speed of 90, endurance of 99. So Pernell is more than efficient as he goes into the later rounds. So these things can change as you get past round 5. But right now, Boxing Fanatico looks like he has this fight in control right now, doing a great job.
Absolutely, but with that being said, Boxer, Camron, I like what I'm actually, what I'm seeing here from Camron. He's not actually panicking. He's got over half a fight left, but eventually he is going to have to put he has to turn up the pressure. He might have to, down the line, might have to find himself catching a knockdown or 2, but he's not going all out. He's not firing on all cylinders. He's not panicking. He's sticking to the game plan. He's trying to land those body shots. He's trying to chop away at the tree. He's trying to bring, suck the air out of the gas tank from Fanatico. But again, Fanatico doing what he was doing from round 1. So not much has changed, but in a sense, it's good for both guys because it's showing no one's panicking. These are 2 high-level players, and I like what I'm seeing from Camron here. But again, I am very curious to find out what other plans and tactics that Camron is going to bring to the ring if this goes down, 6, round 7, 8. In round 8, they're going to show the scorecards again. And what is the game plan when he comes to see the scorecards in round 8?
Yeah, and now, as we go down the stretch, I touched on it a little bit before. The conditioning of Pernell Whitaker is a 96 versus only a 93 for Duran in Boxing Fanatico. So he has to continue doing what he's doing. So if you're using Pernell Whitaker, you have enough in that gas tank to kind of push that pressure to try to change the complexion of this match as we go down the stretch, because he really hasn't been gassing himself out too much. He's been doing a great job, but just not enough. But as we get into the second half of this fight, if you're still down on the judges' scorecards and they've scored it all for Duran, you're going to have to find something else to do. You're going to have to find some new offense, some type of way to open up your shots. The reflexes of Pernell Whitaker is a 98, so it's going to be pretty good if you can get off a lot of those, boxing combinations. And I really want
Where did that come from, Boxer?
Out of nowhere. Wow.
Oh,
is he going to get up, Preston?
I didn't even see the punch. I didn't even see the punch.
Wow. Boy, Boxing Fanatico putting people on notice right now.
Wow, absolutely incredible. Lost my...
All right, here we go. Now, Pressy, if you're Camron, you got knocked down. Does this mean this is the end of the fight? What do you have to do to change it and get the fight back on your side? Because you've been knocked down. You gotta be careful.
Pressure. Now, I know I've got 3 rounds left after this. It's a 10-round fight. I'm down on every scorecard. I've been dropped in the last round. I gotta find the KO. I mean, off the top of my head, I think Camron has got a good gas tank left. I think his stamina is very, very good. So round 7 and 8, I'm going full. I'm firing off all cylinders, and I'm gonna try and get that stoppage and put an upset to Fanatico.
And we talked about it, Pressy, that right hook for Roberto Duran is a 20. That is, but he landed an uppercut. The uppercut to the head is a 17. So I think that was the shot that put Pernell Whitaker on the canvas. You can't play around with Roberto Duran and that power, especially when you got someone as savvy and as smart as Boxing Fanatico is able just to pick his shots correctly and be more precise. Man, wow, that was very impressive.
Just whiskers off with that same right uppercut again there, Boxer. That is round 6 in the bag, I believe. I've given 1 round to Camron. The other judges don't see it that way. Camron's got a mountain to climb. Can he climb that mountain? And can he bring Boxing Fanatico off it? Boxing Fanatico literally been, I think he's been living off of this fight, off of maybe 3 different punches. He's thrown a few jabs here and there, but mainly it's been that straight right uppercut, and I think he's mixed up a few body shots as well on the inside when Camron's been planting his feet. Camron tries to plant his feet, go tit for tat for the body, and then that's when Fanatico will try and rip him with hooks to the body as well. But again, very composed and calculated stuff here from Boxing Fanatico. Just as I say, that lands a clean, swift, straight right down the pipe again. Camron has got to find something here. He's got to find that bomb in his artillery. He's got to land it and try and seal an emphatic KO victory here, because he is down on all the scorecards with 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the 7th round. It looks like he's just about to try and pick up the pace here. Goes to the body, but Fanatico is not in range to be hit there. Good footwork there by Fanatico.
Yeah, and if you're Pernell Whitaker, your strongest punch is going to be your left hook. So that's the bomb that you talked about that he wants to find. He wants to find some way to land that left hook. That left hook is a 17 out of 20. And if you're going to come back and do some real damage, that's going to be the shot from Pernell Whitaker. But the thing with Pernell Whitaker, you can't start to let those hands go. And right now, we're seeing a master class being put on by both of these guys, just doing a amazing performance here. Fanatico has some very good defense and able to land some nice counter combos back of his own. But I'm still seeing Camron landing some shots. It's just not enough right now. One thing that I see with Boxing Fanatico, he is very comfortable fighting off of that back foot. And we see that with a lot of the great boxers of this league, whether that's talking about somebody like Mayweather. They know how to fight off of that back foot and have you whiff and then return that nice, precise, calculated strike back of your own. And that's what I'm seeing here with Fanatico, just doing a great job. Going into round 8, you really don't have nothing left. Like you said, that was correct. You got one round to Camron here, but in these last 2 rounds, Pressy, I would think you just need to let your hands go if you want to have any shot at winning.
He has the stamina to do it. He's got the punches to do it. Camron just needs to go for broke. It's a case of, kill or be killed. Put your opponent out, or just go out on your shield. He's rarely, don't be gun shy here. Maybe he's feeling a bit of pressure. Maybe, it's the big stage here. He's against Boxing Fanatico, who's a, absolute beast on this game. Maybe he has felt a bit of pressure there, but overall, I would, if anything, I'd be very, very happy with the spot. If I was Camron, I'd be happy in the spot that I was in, because I did. At the same time, there's a lot of pressure, but I kept my cool, calm, and composure underneath that pressure. But Camron has really got to find the stoppage here. It's all one-way stuff. He's throwing the punches, but he's not finding the target in Boxing Fanatico. Fanatico just shoulder roll in there, and a left Camron tries to take his head off of it, but just misses off range there by Camron. Good left hook, straight right up the top by Boxing Fanatico. I like that body and head work there by Fanatico. Good right uppercut lands there with less than 1 minute left in round number 8.
All right, yeah, and like you said, Pressy, it's not easy to keep your composure, especially when you're on the big stage in the bright lights of the eSports. And this is his first time on the stage. He is doing a very good job. Even though he got knocked down, I mean, he can take a lot of guys out. I mean, he's fighting some of the best right now in Fanatico, and he's keeping it coming. Like we said, Pernell Whitaker has that endurance.
He's landing that straight left through the pipe. He's landing that straight left. He landed 3 of those straight lefts on Boxing Fanatico there. He had his guard up straight through the guard. That's that accuracy and that precision that comes with Whitaker. Cameron's just got to capitalize, keep pouring those lefts down the middle, try back up. Fanatico against the ropes. Took 2 good body shots there from Camron. Did Fanatico. Good work there by Camron, with still plenty of time left in round 9, Boxer. Both guys, now Camron is really trying to turn up the heat. He's trying to stay down Boxing Fanatico's neck, not trying to give him room to breathe, trying to keep him on the ropes here. Good side step to the right there by Camron, trying to work that body, but Boxing Fanatico just keeping cool, keeping cagey, keeping that guard nice and tight, and just again boxing off the back foot. Isn't trying to please anyone, just doing what he needs to do to get the W.
Yeah, but what I see right now with Boxing Fanatico, a lot of these punches are hitting the guard, are hitting the glove, and whenever Camron goes downstairs, Fanatico is there with that right uppercut, just so calculated. He's letting Camron just throw himself out, gas himself out. He knows he has to go for broke right now, and all he's doing is letting those punches hit that guard, and he has that guard protected throughout the fight. So now, whenever he can take some damage on that guard in this next to the last round here, but he has to be careful because right now Camron really is feeling the sense of urgency, and I see him pouring it on. But also, Boxing Fanatico is the one that is being patient right now, and he is weathering this late storm here and returning those punches back right when he needs to, and landing that straight, landing that right uppercut right when he needs to. But boy, is Camron showing that endurance of Pernell Whitaker, but eating some mean right hands by Durant, and you can't do that or you'll find yourself back on the canvas like you did in round 6.
And that is the end of round 9.
Woo.
I do like how Camron tried to turn up the pressure there and put the heat on Boxing Fanatico at the end of that round. He did find success to the body, but it seems that he can't get Boxing Fanatico out of his comfort zone to kind of, panic throw combinations or punches to keep Camron off base. He's trying to sidestep right uppercut there to find that KO, maybe a devastating KO or counter there, Boxing Fanatico, but he didn't catch Camron quite there, and I like what Cameron's doing here. This is what Camron needs to do, is force the fights out of Boxing Fanatico, force the mistakes out of him, and make him pay for those mistakes. But Boxing Fanatico is staying on his P's and Q's.
Yeah, and what I see right now that Pernell Whitaker and Camron has to go for broke, that counter punch is going to be there. And that's what I see. I see that camera swinging, meaning that the counter punch there is available. And I know Boxing Fanatico is looking for it. But Pernell Whitaker, you got to be very careful because he does have a lot of endurance. We said 99, but he has to go for broke right now. You can't really be as calculated. You just got to let your hands go in this last round. But look, he poured it on me.
Felt those impacts from those body shots. Camron banging those drums left and right. Boxing Fanatico is looking a bit in trouble here with those body shots. And Phil, another right uppercut to the body right underneath that guard of Boxing Fanatico. But is it a little bit too late? And he's what? Trying to trying to get over Fanatico. Fanatico dropped him again. A 1-2. What, 4 shots? Left hook, straight right, left hook puts him down.
Yo, Pressy, that's what I was saying. You got to go for broke, and he's throwing a lot of shots, and he had to, and then his stamina was down. Well, his endurance and conditioning was down, and then that straight just out of nowhere from Boxing Fanatico knocking down Camron again. And this is just a masterclass performance that Fanatico is showing us here, how to play this fight night game, how to box, and boy, he is really showing us how to dance like a butterfly and sting like a bee. That was an amazing fight for the first fight in the EBL. Couldn't have asked for nothing more. Action-packed the entire time. 2 knockdowns from Fanatico. What more could you ask? But Camron did a very good job. He came here, he showed up, and he actually showed out. But Boxing Fanatico just was able to edge him out and do a little bit better. Great job to both of those fighters. Wow, that was a banger press.
Absolutely. I mean, GG's firstly to Camron. Appreciate for taking part. GG's, hopefully see you in future events. But I love what Fanatico did there. It's like he kind of tried to showcase his skills where I'm going to take my time. I'm going to show people that haven't seen me before a bit of my IQ. And then when we get to the midways, I'm going to show them a bit of my counter punching IQ. And then when we get to the 8th, 9th, 10th round, then we'll just wrap up the fight. We'll wrap it up there just to show people that I'm not going to, try and coast the point to victory. We're going to go for the kill. And that's exactly what he done. I mean, man, when it comes to IQ, that was some of the highest level stuff that I've seen on Fight Night Champion, in all honesty. And I was someone that used to bang out this game when they dropped it in 2010 or 11, I think it was. I think it's 2011, I beg your pardon. So that was some of the highest IQ stuff, highest level IQ that I've ever seen on this game. So it's interesting. Kept it cool. He didn't even mix up too much. He kept it kind of basic, but effective. 1-2s. He looked for the most devastating, the most significant punches that he can use with Duran, and he absolutely capitalized on it. 100% boxer.
Yeah, definitely. That fight was a classic just because it was number 1 and it did not disappoint. Like you said, that was a high IQ on both parties there. Fanatico and Camron showing a lot of IQ. Both of those fighters putting people on notice. Future events, when we got Camron, we got Boxing Fanatico, you already know these guys know how to handle themselves inside of this ring. Okay, now